Number 56, Caroline DeMesquita.
What's up, you guys? I should name this Caroline's Big Comfy Couch Talks because it's essentially what this is. Today I wanted to go over a topic that I've been getting questions about, specifically when is right time to enhance and if you are ready to enhance. Now, precursor, I am not a doctor. Always consult a medical physician or your doctor with additional health questions and nutrition recommendations. This is for entertainment and education purposes. So let's get to it. I honestly hear a lot like, what's a safe cycle? When can I enhance? When should I enhance? And a lot of it is from these younger athletes, competitors. So the biggest thing to do is I have a series of questions that I ask these athletes, whether they're my athlete or somebody who reaches out for a consult, whatever it may be. These are the big things that for me, I want people to take into consideration, as well as ways that I went about trying to decide if it was the right time to enhance or not. So, first and foremost, identify what is your why. As a person, we all have a big, audacious why, our being, who we are, right? So, figure out like your why. What is it for you? And it might not have anything to do with bodybuilding, which is fine. It might just have to do with you want to impact the world in a certain way, or you want to show up as a healthier version of yourself. You want to be a stronger version of you, whatever it may be. From there, you're going to get more detailed. What is your physique goal? So if your goal is you want to be leaner and have a six-pack, cool. If your goal is you want to put on 3 to 5 pounds of muscle in a year, cool. If your goal is you want to have 38-inch hip circumference, cool. That is doable. The more detailed and granular you can get, the more likely you can achieve and measure how close you're getting to that goal. I'm a big believer in having metrics, so that's something that I talk a lot about when it comes to goal setting and achieving any measurable outcomes that you want. Number 3, how committed are you to your current health regimen? And this includes stress, training, cardio, your diet. How committed are you? On a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being not at all, 10 being every day you're executing to 110%. Rate yourself. From there, number 4, what are your other life goals? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids one day? Do you want to have a yacht and a boat house somewhere? Whatever it is, right? Number 5, what is your family health history like? Especially cancerous, autoimmune issues, anything like that. The reason I ask that, because when you're considering any type of enhancement, it can have a short-term or a long-term effect, no matter who you are, what you take, etc. Next one, which is number 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is your budget? I spoke in a previous video about how much it costs to compete. Even if you're not competing, you're considering enhancement. What's your budget? Because some substances cost more than others, and some substances, if you're not getting the real thing, are going to be really cheap. But revert back to some of the previous questions about your goals. If you don't know your budget and how it aligns with your goals, does bodybuilding make sense? Does physique enhancement with supplementation make sense? You got to run the numbers to know. Number 7, how long are you willing to put in the work towards these goals, right? Essentially, you hear it all the time that taking anabolics or taking PEDs is a shortcut. Not necessarily true. It can enhance muscle building, it can enhance fat burning, but if you're still not working hard, your results aren't going to come quicker, not necessarily. If your hormones get off, they're not going to come quicker necessarily. So you need to decide, how long are you willing to put in the work towards the above goals? Because if you aren't willing to play the long game, it might not be in your best interest to add any type of enhancement. Next question, are you going to do your due diligence to get labs done to know your hormones before as well as after running any type of cycle? That's simple, yes or no. And last question, are you going to consult a doctor or ethical sources for your products that you're considering? So these are a lot of heavy questions, but this is not a decision that should be taken lightly. You need to really think it through and decide, is enhancement, number one, something that I want to do? Number two, is it the right time to do it? Evaluate these questions. And, it might take you a little bit. It might not be the right timing. Your budget might not be in the right spot. Your health might not be in the right spot. And that's why it's super important, and I harp on this all the time, not just from my experience, but a lot of people that I know who've had negative experiences. They didn't ask themselves these types of questions before pulling the trigger and before running a cycle, before purchasing from their boyfriend's friend who they don't even know. It's, at the end of the day, it's your health, and you need to be 100% yes. And it needs to align with your goals, and it needs to align with everything. Nothing is necessarily going to be less risky. Yeah, there's some that have fewer side effects, some that might work better for a female, but there's still a risk. That's just like, there's always going to be a risk when you're taking a physical change, chemical change. So I hope you guys will analyze some of these questions, take it to heart, and not just pull the trigger and jump the gun, but really think about, is enhancement the right next step for you? And if it's not, that's okay. There are plenty of ways to gain muscle, to get leaner without using enhancement too. And I've talked this time and time again, it's doable. Now, if you have a certain physique look that you want, there are some anabolics that will make that look happen, but you still need to put in the work to build the muscle mass. You still need to put in the work to burn that body fat that's stored. So, at the end of the day, it's a tool in the toolbox, but you need to be smart about how you use the tool, right? So, thank you guys once again, and I hope this answers some questions. If you are still kind of unsure or you want to talk through things, it's what I'm here for, and that's one of the things I do. I do consults, so feel free to send me an email if you want to set up a consult about your health and next steps, and we can go from there. So enjoy your day and make the most of it, and believe in your health, because you can do anything that you put your mind and body to.